When worship is done without contest, it becomes entertainment. But worship done in the will of God is what glorifies Jesus. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 7, it says, but unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Christ. Verse 8, wherefore he said, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts to men. Verse 10, he said, he that descended is the same also that ascended up far above heavens, all heavens, that he might fill all things. Verse 11, and he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and some teachers. He that ascended gave gifts to men. The gifts he gives to men are not just the gifts of the Spirit. In this context, he's talking about the men that he has given as gifts to people. So when your pastor is standing, he is the gift of Jesus to you. Jesus gave you a pastor as a gift. He gave you a prophet as a gift. He gave an evangelist as a gift. So whenever you are opportune to sit under these people, don't just see them as celebrities or big men. They are the gifts of Jesus to your life. Now, why am I going this route? The purpose of these gifts is for the maturity of the church. Is so that the saints can be brought into full maturity to the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ. The Bible and the assignment we have been called to preach is not just for exhortation and edification. As beautiful as it is, we are called to build men. And to some pastors and to some teachers, sir, if we don't address this, the worship meetings will be entertainment meetings. So as worship is going on, our desire and why we are praying and asking God for his will to be done is not just for you to be excited. It's so that you will have fellowship with him, and as you share fellowship with him, the purpose he has instituted this work will be done in your life. And what is that purpose? Growth and maturity. Look at verse 12. Let's just read this quickly. It says, for the perfection of the saints. For the perfection of the saints. The word perfection there is talking about maturity, bringing the saints to the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ, so that the saints can do the work of ministry. I showed you this yesterday. Any church that is not targeted at raising members that would not just receive but also do the work of ministry has failed. The problem we have in these days is that we raise people that are dependent, and that's not the will of Jesus. Jesus, in one encounter I had with him in a revelation, he told me, he said, my people have turned my church to a helping ground. As beautiful as it is not the primary assignment of the church. The primary of the assignment of the church is so that when you come in as a lamb, as you come in as a lamb, you are edified, you are raised, you are trained, so that you will go forth and do the work of the ministry. You might have not been called into the office of a pastor. You might have not been called into the office of an evangelist or into the office of a prophet, but you can still do the work of ministry. He says, unto every one of us, he has given the ministry of reconciliation. Am I talking to somebody here? So until I am able to produce a minister from you, I'm a failure. Including our worship concerts and whatever we are doing, if our intention is not to raise people, please get my heart, is not to raise people that will live and not just be excited about God, but we will see other men, disciple them and bring them to maturity, we have failed. So I want you to understand that as you are coming to church, your mindset is not just to receive. It is good, you will be healed, sicknesses will be healed, afflictions will be terminated, but your mindset and your heart desire is, Lord, whatever is needed for me to be built up, as your sons are singing, as your daughters are worshiping, give me that word, give me that light that will build me up. Can I hear your amen?